Well, I'm shirtless. Charlie Greer podcast. Yeah, right. I mean, I don't want to put on a. It's so humid. It's not even that hot. It just is like thick and oh god. And we've been having so much rain. This weather is fucking stupid. I don't know what's going on. I'm in Illinois now, and it's just the worst shit I've ever dealt with, man. I've been here 4 months, and it's just like enough already, man. Just make up your mind. When rain, sun, no, and there's gonna be a tornado. Fucking shit. Yeah, Charlie Greer podcast coming at you. Yeah, charges dropped against Casey White. Now, if you don't know who Casey White is, he's that douchebag that escaped with the prison guard lady like last month, whenever it was. A diversion tactic so they could drop the charges. They just signaled every other crazy inmate. Hey, they dropped the charges. Everybody, what mark my word? They're all gonna just riots are gonna. Why would you drop the charges on a dude that's a convicted killer? And that's all shady too. Like she killed herself in the car. I don't know if you know about they escaped. They went on the run. They were. I mean, something else is going on there, man. Obviously, it was but an old trick they use is they actually. Now, granted, people think no. What I've heard supposedly is they let people out you don't know about it to do crime. They never think, well, he's in jail for 20 years. Yeah, well, every weekend he goes to hooks up with whoever. They do this again. We've already lost. It's all corrupt, man. It's all crooked. If you don't think that, I mean, you're just look around. I know some people look. Well, I got this job and I'm getting a pension. What? There ain't gonna be no pension, man. There's gonna be no Social Security. This is what we dealt with. People vote these people in. I mean, even the sheriffs and stuff. And this was in, was it Indiana? Maybe I think it was Indiana. Is like tip my hat to Indiana. Hey, like recently in the last couple of years, they busted the biggest. I can't even say what it is, but like nasty stuff in the history of like the world. From this little itty bitty town in Indiana, and then they had to go to France and this and the other, and all this will come out. It was like a porn ring, like a weird porn ring. Yeah, you're not hearing that on the news, are you? Maybe they'll swip over it and then hey, talk about the next cupcake recipe that we're gonna. Again, it's all bells and whistles. There's only 6 companies, big companies, banking, whatever, that own everything, and below that they own it. They own it all. Again, what are the odds if everybody is? I don't watch the news because it's just proper. How do you not know you're being lied to? Again, if you don't do something, man, it's like nobody's gonna help. It's gonna be too late by the time. But they dropped the charges on Casey White, who had escaped, went on the run with this girl, and they weren't even good. It was like something else was going on. They're leaving cars, they're staying in a motel, they're not even. How couldn't they find these people? As a matter of fact, they would have found him earlier because the guy, like at a gas station or a car wash, like, hey, tipped him in. It took like 5 days for the Boss Hog sheriff to, well, and you should see these sheriffs surrounding this case, a bit gunted, huge, just out of shape, morbidly obese. And I'm not fat shaming. I'm just saying, like, how you can't pass a physical, man. I mean, and the reason, I guess, I was like, I went down that rabbit hole. I was like, dude, I gotta, they have to release a reason why. So let's see this feeble reason why they released this dude, or not released him, but dropped the charges. And they said, well, he's killed so many people. He's got another trial coming up like next month or something or other. And if we charge him, some of the stuff in that information might harm him. Come on, man. Come on. And the district attorney did this. You got to have a district attorney is one that drops charges and goes, and you're on the world stage and you're doing this, and it's already looking bad. You're like, oh, you're gonna drop the charge. Well, we might go after it. Uh-huh. I mean, I wish I could just like bury my head and not. But as a pseudo intellectual, which I think I am, come on. And I don't watch the dude, but it's all over YouTube. I can't have they suggest this shit to me, and I go, oh, escape. Dropping the charges. It's just. I mean, I'm getting embarrassed. It embarrasses me. Like, dude, if I had done that, for one, they'd have shot me. There's gunfire going off within the car. Supposedly she killed herself at the end there, and they pulled him out, and like he's all laughing, smiling, like, oh, nice to see you guys again. Something else might have been going on. Were there any mysterious crimes or murders that happened within that time he was got, And he's a killer. That's what he does. He's good at it. So what do you do? Again, this is a recurring theme through my podcast. Is it just speak up, expose, say something. Don't be like, oh, well, say, no. You can't take shit, because eventually they'll be like literally feeding you shit, telling you, no, it's chocolate ice cream. No, it's not. Oh my God. Don't believe your lying taste buds. That's where we're at now. Every town, small, big, whatever, they just, whatever little secret groups they're in, and this and that, and there's this cronyism and nepotism, favoritism, If you want to control people, you just have to put dumbasses. Again, you need somebody around like a 94, like 104 IQ. You know how they're going to react. You know what they're going to do. You just know. In fact, they're so good at being vindictive and like, don't you tell me? And they're contrary. They'll do the opposite of everything. You just put them in power, let them do they're going to do what you want. You don't have to tell them, because that's what they're already doing. If you want to fuck people over, find a type of person that fucks people over with a smile on their face, and they know how to do it slowly, so it's not too obvious. It's like that story about the frog. You can put a frog in a pan and slowly bring up the heat, and he won't jump out until he cook him. That's what they're doing to us. We're the frog in the pan with the water, and they're slowly turning up the heat on it. And honestly, I'm more into local governments, because that's where it starts. These people aren't some kind of magical people in DC. No, you send people around your area. Now, granted, once they get to DC, they get in a park. They're never even around, probably. Like Maxine Waters, who California, her region she represents, she hadn't been there in like decades, maybe. Doesn't live there. Yeah, these people are, it's disgusting. Dropping the charges, a convicted murder, multi-murder, whatever they got on him. What's that going to tell him? And these dumbasses are like, damn, he's good at what he did. Now, granted, we got caught, it went haywire. Well, we might have to do it. We might have to use him again. Hey, just drop the charges. I mean, something else is going on. Again, that's a lot of times. It's just not one thing. Something else. How did he get out of jail? They just walked right out. You put him in the car. It was her last day before like her pension kicked in or something. What the fuck is that about? I mean, who would do that? I mean, supposedly they fell in love or something. I mean, God, I get it. You want to be in love. Everybody wants to be loved, but fuck, I've never had that kind of, or love somebody that bad. I'd want to. You're going to get another thing. Have some foresight. This ain't going to end good. You leave it. Where are you going to go? When you're all over the world news, you say, oh no, we'll just get a hotel room. Again, I can't, I could honestly respect like a nice, cunning, smart criminal. I mean, I'm not to say that I like it. It's just that, like, wow, hey, but it's just these. And I watched the video. Everybody in that video, the Casey White, when he's coming out of the jail when they escaped, the dude that walks him down to the is just big puzzle gutted. Everybody's a boss hog. The woman that let him out, she was a boss hog and a Karen, probably. Yeah, she's a waddle. Matter of fact, that's what they were looking for. Like, look for the waddle. She's so damn fat or whatever. She was just waddling. And she's the head of she's the best we have. I mean, come on. And I'm not trying to shame anybody for what I'm just saying, like, look, man, we have to have common sense. We got to be like, what are we doing here? Again, if you did this, whoever's watching this shit show, if you did this, they would have you, for one, they would have shot you. They know that you had guns in the car. You're a murderer. Come on, man. Seriously? They shoot innocent people all the time. To me, they tell me they're not going to, the SWAT that was going after him, they wouldn't just handcuff and walk him to a car. Okay, there you go. And just like, maybe that's why he was smiling, had that smirk. He knew they were going to. And I thought so. At the time, I don't even think I was doing my podcast because I started but I was telling people around me and friends, I was like, this is something's not right. I didn't say he was going to be, I didn't think they'd be ballsy enough to drop the charges, but I thought something else was going on. Like, I don't know. Maybe to frame somebody. That's another thing. They frame people. They'll create a problem and then see, we need to come in and fix it. Look at what we did. That's a cottage industry where they're framing people and this and that. But think about it. Why would you drop the charge? Again, their excuse is, well, the information we got from him escaping would hurt his trial coming up. Really? Well, let's say, no, it's an ongoing case. We can't tell you. And that's another thing. If it's an open case, they won't, you can hide, nobody can, the FBI can come in there. It's like, well, no. It is a shit show. You think my podcast is bad? The world, fuck. We're in the bell jar. Yeah, it frustrates me because there's good people out there. Matter of fact, there's people needing jobs, man, that would love in law enforcement. They're good people and want to help. And nope, you're not fat enough for. And again, I'm not fat shaming. It's just that, like, in all these, everywhere, it's a certain kind of people. What are the odds of that? What are the law of average that everybody would be out of shape? Did they get rid of physicals? Granted, I don't think everybody's got, hey, you got health problems, whatever, but you need to be physically fit to do certain things. If you're garden killers, you don't want some dude that's all cankled up and, what the fuck? Nobody says it. Man, they should be, if wherever they're from, whatever this little town they're in, everybody should be in arms. People should be talking, demanding. But yeah, they won't. They'll just keep on eating shit. They're not going to talk about this. Again, was it even news? Did you even hear that, it's all over the news? And they just, corruption. Again, I have a feeling that something else was going on. This was meant to be. Whether they were letting him out to frame someone, or did she think they were doing some kind, I don't know, like, something's not, my guts is to beep, 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 warning, my intuition, my cunning and my wit, that's something and they usually don't, again, dropping the charges on someone who's like, this is a high level case worldwide, they're under the microscope already. They're already probably going to be investigated. Like, how did he get loose? How did this happen? And then the district attorney drop. That tells me they're all involved. You know what I mean? Like, they're all told what to do or whatever. Whoever's behind the Wizard of Oz. Don't look behind the. Something's not right. There was some other crimes or something going on. Even if it now, people think, oh no, they need fodder for the news, and there's stuff going on behind the scene. Well, not behind it, but there's our president at the moment is not doing too well, and he's just the most popular president in history we've got now. 81 million votes. They said, yeah, wow. People are hello, what the fuck? Professional politician, so it's like something else is going on. And everybody from her to the other people, to the sheriff, to the district attorney, then whoever's above them, whatever, all in these same little groups. Just different levels or different, I'm a degrees or whatever they call them. Bullshit, man. And if they would look through history, they know that nothing is sustainable. Corruption is not sustainable. That's why you have to shift gears and do different you just can't, even the dumbest people or will turn on you because they'll get mad that you fooled them and because most people that are like, they're the first ones like, oh, you can't con me. They're like the dumbest people. In fact, the easiest people to control are people that lose their temper. Again, everybody's got a temper. But man, people do it without even knowing what they're doing. Subconsciously, they'll fuck with people. Just to fuck with you. And then there's think tanks that know this and marketing companies and this and that. I mean, it's real. It's a thing. But everybody's just too, you got to open up your eyes and your mind and your ears and your gut, your intuition. If more people, it's going to get bad for people because something's going on. I don't know. All this is connected to something big. That's another thing. Everything is, there's levels to this game. I mean, seriously. I mean, if I lose my mind, I start doing some kind of crazy shit. Hopefully they'll drop the charges on me. Doubt it. And have you ever noticed, like, they go after people for, they'll just arrest you for not wearing a seatbelt or whatever. Give you a ticket and then break out of jail, gonna kill somebody, or they claim she committed suicide. Come on, man. That's again, if you blind or even have the attitude like, look, I'm this, I don't want to deal with it, I don't want to think about it. I get that. But one of these days you're going to be standing there when the supply chain stops or the economy crashes or whatever the hell it is, some kind of national disaster. These people will, for when they eat themselves, that's another thing. They go after. But to me, that looks like he was rewarded. Like, hey, we're going to drop the charge. Good job, Told you so. We would let it die down for about 5 years, just do your, time. And then, hey, we'll have something will come up. We'll need you. There's no telling what was going on, but could have been a crime within a crime within a crime. And that's what they like to do now. Well, not now. They've been doing it forever, but it's obvious now that I wonder what else happened around that time or in that area or whatever was going on. We might not even know about it. They might not, or it's hard to connect the dots because, again, they're really sophisticated with their corruption. So but then they get dumb and lazy. So they repeat the same kind of tactics. To me, that was a diversion, him escaping. Diverting the attention to something else. I don't know what it was, but that's what my gut's telling me. It was a diversion trick. Meaning, say if you're going to do some crime, you're going to rob a bank or whatever. You go about a half mile down the street and set something else on fire, and then the cops go there, and then you go do your thing, and they can't respond because diversion tactic. Old as the hills, they've been doing. The military does it. They've been doing it forever. Criminals do it. It's monkey simple. It makes sense. It's like, hey. So yeah, I think that it was a diversion. Something, even if it was to divert our attention from what's going on in the news, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the news, you know. And the news cycle needs like weekly. They just need something. No, it's just. I mean, it isn't happening organically, man. This is, and they're not even good. I mean, they're not even as good as they used to be because they're too. I don't know why they're so out in the open. You got to like hide in the shadows when you're doing certain things. Like you don't want to be. I get hiding in plain sight, but not everybody. That's just a few. You got some hide in plain sight. Some are in the shadows. Some are. I heard and they're getting impatient. Like they had this plan. They have plans, and they're like, I just went in, and then they skip their. Because again, when you're doing certain things, you got to do it slowly. You got to like spoon feed people because they will wake up. They will. We're on this again. We're on this cycle. Look through history. Every 300 to 400 years, there's some kind of revolution or something going on. I mean, it's just been nonstop. We're due. Matter of fact, we're overdue. We're like 40 years, I think, overdue. Because guess what, people? All people aren't good. Matter of fact, there's more bad people than there are good. I hate to bust your bubble. We all know these people, their family, their friends, they're everybody. And I'll tell you, it's a smile. Hey. Most people want you to do good, but not better than them. You think they're your friends and loved ones. Dude, they're jealous. This is, look around. What's going on, I think everybody should travel and move around a little bit, Back in ancient times, like that's what, before there was school, it was people that traveled, that did, that went out to sea and then went bought, come back, went to the ports and this and that, whatever. You keep people in their little dichotomy, and there's just this, because I need to be around culture, man. I want to be around different people. I like that. It helps me out. I like different foods. I like different people. I like different culture, clothes, whatever. No. It kind of how we're living now. It's more like an advanced 1950s, maybe, where people are, and it starts locally, where they pick these people that are local, do as what they're told. These people have a vanity. Again, you pick a certain IQ, and all they know is being contrary. Don't tell me what to do. I'm not. Even if you're in a group and you're saying, yeah, you don't even mention them. It's like, we're going to do this. You'll see people brown there like, don't tell me what to do. I mean, I used to hire and fire. I've managed restaurants and shit. And there's certain people, don't tell me. It's like, dude, you're at work. I'm telling us all, me included. We got to do this. And I'm not, there's an owner telling me, don't kill the messenger kind of thing. Oh, yeah, you're just being me. They don't last. I was talking to a guy in the neighborhood where I moved. And he was just pissed. So he had a job and they hired this person. They come in, just a new hire, but just start and reporting, lying about people, and got all these people fired. Everybody lost their job. And then she quits, or they quit, whoever it was. And now they're like, oh, well, they got to cover for themselves. They got to cover for her because they don't want to look, they react and just just don't. They are lying, firing people that need, this dude ain't doing too good. It's just like, what the fuck? That's the world we live in now. And in this business, then they need employees. They're like, urgent. We're looking for, he fired everybody for no reason. That had been there. Somebody show up, just been there a couple of weeks, get that first paycheck. And that's what I said when I used to hire in Hollywood. I'd be interviewing people and I'd say, like, look, who am I going to meet in 2 weeks when you've got a paycheck or two under your belt? Right there in your phone, right there. So they'd be like, oh yeah, well, I like to go to Vegas and my boyfriend and I drink every. I was like, well, just let me know, because I have to do part-time, I can't rely on you on a Saturday or whatever. I mean, I try to work with people. A lot of times it worked. Sometimes they just stand up and be like, oh man, hey, don't come at me. I'm out of here. Yeah, fine, go. I mean, I've had interviews that were like over an hour asking, like, what's your favorite TV show? All that shit. I've hired a lot of people and fired. My interviews were quick. I could say, and most of the people that I would hire, people were talking about their money. Like the person, the guy, the gal that goes, hey man, I owe credit card. You're hired. Because I know they got they're or if they had family and stuff, you're hired. Come on, we got to. Someone's like, well, see, I might do like a part-time thing with something. But again, once you get in the groove and you're, and I'm sorry I'm off topic, but it goes, it's circling around to like, this is what we're in, even on this little level. People don't think things through. They react. You just accuse someone. You used to be able to, like, people do it, you'd be like, oh, shut up, you can't, no, everybody's also scared to hurt someone's feelings or it's fucking douchebaggery, man. So the Casey White drop charges, that's corruption. That is obvious. I mean, everybody there should be like a congressional hearing, something going to state, whatever. That ain't going to happen because that's going to be exposed. Matter of fact, they might have dropped the charges because that little simple thing, well, not simple, but him escaped from prison. Once you look, would expose other things, people doing other things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, we can't, no, shut it down. Again, it's all connected. It's all a tree's got its trunk, then there's these branches. It's all connected to that big trunk. It's connected to it's just fingers sticking. It's not some kind of no. And they all have every year or 6 months we go to Miami and get a hotel. We meet with other brothers or whoever. And crazy world. Yeah, I just hope that they have the same compassion for other people, or God forbid, something I lose my mind. I want to do crime. Because I've never been into crime. I've never had that mind like, well, see, I could steal something. No. I don't like to be around people that steal. I don't like to be around criminals. I don't like to be around drug dealers and all that shit. But yet I've been accused of all that. That's the funny thing. I've been accused of all that by people that do that. See, they use projection. Like a baby. I didn't do it. You did it. That's how they're sophisticated they are. Just using a baby tactic. Nuh-uh, nanny, boo. That's what we're dealing with. It's because somebody's 50 or 40, whatever, grown. Their emotional age is like 2 to 5. Look around. Most people can dish it out, but if you give them a little bit of what they go, oh, well, how dare you? Well, hey, you're doing it to me. Oh, no, it's me. These people in the end they're lonely people, man. They ain't enough of a, because like minds get, so you're around someone else who's kind of a passive aggressive and a manipulator, and that you're going to attract those people, right? Those people eat each other. At first it's cool, like, hey, whatever. Then they don't have anybody else to do it. They just turn on themselves. Even themselves, they'll sabotage their own life just to bring everybody else down. Something like that was going on with the Casey White case. Something happened. Again, they probably had it all planned. See, well, he'll escape first, and then we'll do that. And by the time it went haywire, because these dumbasses, the whole world's looking for him, and they're living in a hotel for like 10 days or something. Nobody knows. They had video of him. They'd turned him in. It's like, hey, this is the guy. They waited 5 days, I think it was, to some mosey over there. The first car they stole had been like in they'd been towed somehow, and it had been in the lot for, I think, 5 days before they even. Again, if you're doing this, play dumb. If you're doing crime, just act dumb. Like I was just trying to do my job. I didn't. Ignorance of the law is not. That's another. They know somehow people think, well, I didn't know. I was dumb. Like, oh, let him know. Again, I don't want people getting, but come on. Again, this is another theme that's going through my podcast is selective sympathy, selective opportunity. People are pissed now. They're looking around like, wait a minute, how did I've been busting my ass, and then somebody waltzes on up, and What do you think's you think you're gonna be able to sustain that? And most of these people are like cowardly and use covet means, just talk shit about people to hold them down behind their back. And then, hey, and they're like, how you doing? I'm my best friend. Yeah, right. And this is everywhere. I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about everywhere. All over. I had a job. I had a job and I was training people and a lot of people, there's a bunch of people. And so I think it was like Coachella. And even the owners got everybody going like, look, let us know. We'll work with you. Just don't not show up for the weekend. This is a big weekend for us. We got, this is that. We spent money on promote, whatever. Don't leave us hanging. Oh, no. See, and some people are like, yeah, I'm going to Coachella. Gave them time off. People are like, changing shifts. Like it was a thing. It took us like 2 days to coordinate all that horse shit. What happens? Of course they don't. There's like 7 to 10 people. There's like, fuck it, let's go to Coachella and leave us hanging. I did like a double shift for like 2 days or whatever. And that whole time they're just like, oh man, even the owners and the hire manager over me, oh, we're going to fire these. How dare they, blah, 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 blah. And then mysteriously, nothing happened. They didn't do anything. And then later on, I found out they gave them raises. they gave them. I quit after I found. I was like, I was the one that actually did more, and I switched and I double shifts, and then you didn't, and then they got a raise. They're making more money than me now. Go fuck yourself. Well, you need this job, not this bad. And then sure enough, they're trying, hey, come back. Nah. Nope, you're dealt with me. Again, people are contrary. They just do what they'll invert it. It's just like, oh, I should do this. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I should fire them. Well, I'm not going to fire them. Matter of fact, I'm going to give a raise. And then you're standing around there like, what did I do? They won't even remember. Have you ever noticed that about people? Like, I don't remember. I didn't. Somehow they remember everything about you and every little detail about everything else. But when they're like acting like a fucking, passive aggressive manipulator, they don't remember. I don't remember. Who? You. That's why don't even bring them up. It's as an individual, you just be like, gone by. But I have a feeling this is not the end of the Casey White kind of look at me without a shirt. And again, the reason I'm not wearing a shirt because the humidity is like 95%. And I don't want to be like it's stuck to me like a epoxy to me, So I'm not like the shirtless podcaster. But yeah, the Casey White thing ain't going away. Something else is going on. Mark my word, there'll be maybe it takes some time because they got corruption, But and there'll probably be resignations and this, that, and the other, and all this stuff coming out. And watch for him to escape again or other escape. This has put the seed in all these people's mind. We can do it too, prisoner. Come on. All they got to do is sit. All they're doing is sitting around waiting and wanting to do. Well, they're going to be escaping, causing riots and stuff. Well, thanks for listening to me rant like a madman. I love y'all. I'm doing this every day. I know, right? I love you, man. Be blessed. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Cheers.